Hi, and welcome to What's the Tea in L&E. I'm Leah, and today I'm here with my colleague, Lindsey Brock.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thanks, Lindsey. Lindsey is one of our healthcare regulatory and med mal attorneys. And Lindsey, I wanted to have you talk about this new law regarding reporting requirements for hospitals and other healthcare institutions about workplace violence. Tell me about this.
Sure, yeah. So starting July 1st of this year, we have some new considerations to take in mind when reporting workplace violence. So as far as reporting requirements, they have added things like you need to have the perpetrator's identity. So that could include patient, a visitor, a patient's parent. It could be an employee, any person within that hospital or long-term care facility that might have threatened someone will have to be reported.
So when you say, so when you're defining, like in terms of when a healthcare institution is saying, do we have to report this particular incident? Like, do they define what a workplace violence incident is that you would have to report?
They actually did provide a specific definition when passing this. So we've got workplace violence can include physical assault, threats or verbal abuse, psychological trauma, and no injury intent is required.
Wow. Okay. I'm actually thinking that psychological trauma would be an interesting one, right? I mean, we're not just talking about situations where, someone runs into an emergency department waiting room with a gun and starts firing off. We're talking about, it could even include, and I'm thinking from the employment standpoint, let's say a nurse who's being sexually harassed and experiences some sort of psychological trauma.
Definitely.
Are there any requirements that that a healthcare institution has to have some sort of response lined up? Like once they actually receive these reports, like what's the response that they're supposed to take?
Correct. So they are required to plan in advance what the responses might be. We recommend meeting with your compliance team and making sure your procedures in place are updated appropriately now that we have this expanded definition of what could pull in your new reporting requirements for violence in the workplace.
Yeah, you probably want to be over-inclusive, right? And
yes, yeah. Even low-level threats or non-threats, if anyone feels that they need to report that there might be violence in the workplace, that has to be reported in detail.
So in terms of updating your policies, is it fair to say it's smart for a client an institution to look at their policies, make sure they're updated in terms of reporting of workplace violence and injuries in the workplace? And then what about protections for employees in terms of ensuring that employees come forward and protect, and report these things?
Right, yes. So part of the new law requires employees have to have their identity disclosed as well as the reporters. So that does make some people pause a bit. But when sharing the information with the Virginia Department of Health, those names are eventually redacted, so there are non-identifiers,
Okay.
as well as we have non-retaliation
requirements
in place.
Yeah. So an employee can fairly report. So also probably good that managers are trained on these new reporting requirements so they know to kind of keep an eye out for and identify these incidents that may need to be reported to the compliance team or legal team, as well as training employees on reporting situations that come up, whether it's with a patient or a visitor or a third party or another employee.
Correct. So training those employees during onboarding is going to be crucial.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much, Lindsey. Appreciate you coming on. Until next time.
Thanks.